Okay, hello. Today is gonna be a no cam stream. As I've explained on Twitter, my Twitter account, things have been a bit crazy for me lately. I started a new job where I am back working from the office, and means that like I have I basically have to commute for like 3 hours every day, and usually in my stream, setting up the camera, the lights, and the green screen, and all of these things are the most time consuming and, to be honest, the most exhausting aspects of streaming. So for the time being, I'll probably be streaming with no cameras. On weekends I might try to set the cameras depending on what I have to do. Today, because I'm a bit busy, as I'll be like heading out in a couple of hours, I just didn't want to waste time with all the setup, and I had some work I wanted to do on my TweetTextarea component. So yeah, let's get started with it. So if you've seen any of the previous streams, then you'd know that we have actually released the last stream released the 1.1.0 version of the component on npm. So anyone who wants to actually use it can just install it using npm or yarn, and just use it, and in the applications in React apps. So let me just check that everything's working properly with the stream, and then we will get to what we're actually doing today. Give me a second. Yeah, everything seems to be working properly. So yeah, let's get to it. We will first start the app, the test app that I'm using to actually test how the component is working, and I will now show you the issue. Basically, what we're going to be doing today is actually fixing a bug that I have discovered, and I already did the work of trying to figure out exactly what is causing the bug and why it happens. So I'll save you all of that and explain exactly what is happening. So if you've seen any of the previous streams, you'd know that the way we've implemented pasting text into the component is by mostly relying on the default pasting behavior of the browser. Which basically the way it works, it just pastes text. I don't even think we handle anything specifically aside from pasting in an empty editor when we don't have any text, but when some text exists, we just basically let the browser handle the pasting normally, and we do the formatting through the input event. However, this is problematic because if we go here and type this is some text to paste, and let's maybe add a hashtag here. If we come here and add this, you'll see that it works fine. It formats the hashtag. If we go to the editor, it works properly. It added the text to a paragraph and did the formatting using the span. So that all of that is fine. It also, as I said, it also works if we have some text. So hello. And if we do that, we come back here. Again, it's still working fine. It just added the text and did the formatting on the hashtag. All of that works fine. However, if we come here and do this, and we copy both of these, then delete all of that, and we paste, you'll start to see basically the problem. Now, this hashtag is not formatted. This should have been a new line, but it was pasted on the same line. And if we come in here, you'll find that none of that is even added into paragraphs. So the rules that basically we set for the component and how it should work are not followed. The same happens, of course, if we do this. Again, this hashtag is not formatted. This is a new line that should have been created as a new paragraph, but it wasn't, and it keeps the paragraph that already existed, but it doesn't do the other thing that we expect. Basically what we're expecting to happen here is that this line should have been on a different in a different paragraph, and this hashtag should have been formatted. The reason for this is basically the way because we're doing the formatting in a way that usually works on the current node and that basically the two surrounding nodes, so the node before and the node after. This doesn't work well when we're working with new lines, and it ends up just doing a lot of weird things to the formatting. Like if we actually go to the debugger and if we come here and do this, no. Why is it not? Interesting. Because it should be here. Let me try this. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, initially, like when we paste in an empty editor, initially it pastes those two lines properly on their own, basically lines, but we are not getting the actual yeah, we're not getting it's not showing exactly the format. I would assume that these would be two divs, but they might not be. If we go here, input type is not insert paragraph, so we'll ignore that. Wait a second, why did it? Yeah, see, it's not even like handling this properly, because what we did here was that we expected that when we paste it would just be the one child node, but then because this has two lines, it's actually two child nodes, and yeah, it just does a lot of weird things that this is not what we wanted to do. Anyway, similar thing would happen basically when we're actually pasting text to an existing text. So you get the idea. Basically, things are not working as we would expect them to. Like if we go to Twitter, let me sign in quickly. If we now paste that same text that we copied to Twitter, as you can see, it properly adds basically each line to like a new element, whether it's like, that would probably be a div if we check it. No, it's, yeah, it would be a div, I think, but for some reason, yeah, see, it's, yeah, it's a, yeah, anyway, it's a div, and it formats those two hashtags. So yeah, it works differently than what we expect it to do, so we want to replicate that behavior in here. And unfortunately, the only way I managed to find to actually achieve what I want is by sort of re-implementing a lot of the things that the browser already does. So as you can see, like when we paste before we do the formatting, it adds the lines properly to where they should go and do all of that stuff. However, once we apply the formatting, it messes everything up and it doesn't even do the formatting as it should do. So what we want to do is to actually just handle the paste event on our own and we'll have to make sure that everything gets pasted properly and to the exact location, like where it should go, and that eventually everything will be formatted as it should be. So as I said, I already figured out how to do that. So let's start implementing it here. First, I'll just create a function that I need, mainly just like a utility function, which will find the parent paragraph of the current node. So it will basically go up the node chain until it finds the first paragraph node and returns it. So we'll use that. It will take a node or type node, and it will return HTML paragraph element or null. And let me just basically add this comment here. So we will do let parent HTML paragraph element or null, and we'll start it as null. Then let current node equal node, and then while current node dot parent element, if current node dot parent element dot tag name equal p, then we'll set the parent equal current node dot parent element. Yeah, as HTML paragraph element, just to basically because as you can see, getting an error here, is missing type HTML but required, so we need to sort of cast it to a paragraph element to make that error go away. And we will break, because we just found the paragraph element, we don't need to do anything else. And else we'll just set current node equal current node dot parent element, and then eventually we'll just return parent. So this utility function now is fine. I need also some of the functions that we have in the TweetTextarea utilities. I need to export them just temporarily, because I'll build the code in just in one place in the TweetTextarea listeners, and then we'll refactor it into smaller functions and basically just bring them back into TweetTextarea utilities module, and and we can basically remove any exports that are not necessary. So let me just quickly do this So here are the ones that I need. We need the set cursor position, find node in parent, format, reposition cursor after user input format, which will probably change the name now because we're gonna use it for pasting. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry about that. So okay, now I have everything I need exported. Let's go here now. Okay. Now we need to implement the paste listener. So text area paste listener, and this one will take event, which is gonna be react.clipboard event HTML div element editor ref, which is gonna be react.mutable ref object of HTML div element or null. We'll also take the pattern, and which is just a regular expression, and highlight class name, which is an optional string. Then this will return void as well, similar to the other ones. Yep. And let's start implementing it. So the first thing we're gonna do is actually we need to prevent the default. So the paste event basically is not gonna call the is not gonna go to the input event, which usually what happens. Then we will get the selection and range. Selection, if I can type, so document.get selection, and we'll do const range equal selection dot get range at 0. Then we'll check to make sure if not editor ref dot current or not range, then return, because basically without those two we won't be able to actually do anything. And if we don't have the ref is not assigned to like the actual editor, or we don't have a range object, then there's something wrong anyway, so none of the pasting and all of that stuff probably would work. Then we need the start container, start offset, and end container from the range So what we'll do next basically is we need to check if the user has the entire text inside the editor selected when they click Ctrl V or right click and paste to just paste some text in there. If the entire text of the editor is selected, then we need to actually empty the editor. And let me zoom in. Just that's way too much. I think that should be fine, I would assume. Let me check quickly. I always forget to zoom in. It's like I actually never work on it like with it zoomed in that far because it's a bit too much for me. But let me see what it looks like at the moment. Yeah, should do. Okay. Yeah, I think it should be fine. I can see it on my mobile phone, so probably is fine. But if it is not, just let me know, and we can zoom in a little bit. Yeah. So as I said, like if the entire text inside the editor is selected, we need to basically delete everything in the editor. If not, we just need to delete anything that the user has already selected. So let's do that. So if range dot toString dot length equal editor ref dot current dot text content dot length then in this case we'll just delete all editor children editor ref dot current. Otherwise we just delete the contents of whatever is selected inside the range. And let me just go up here, copy some of the comments that I have. I just don't want to type any comments here, just it's a bit of a waste of time. So I already typed most of these comments when I was figuring out how to fix the issue. So yeah, anyway, the next thing we'll do is basically we will take the text that the user is about to paste and we'll get it as plain text without any formatting or anything, just in case. Like let's say the user actually cut part of the text in from the editor and that text had some formatting in it. We need to remove all that, so we'll get it as plain text, and then we'll split it into an array at basically the new line character. So each element of the array would be just one line, and then we'll make each of these lines into a paragraph element. So the way we're gonna do that is we const lines equal event dot clipboard data get data here, and we'll get it as text plain, and then we will split it at the new lines new line characters. And if you're not sure what is happening here, basically this is the paste event has something called the clipboard data, which is like a data transfer object. If we go here and in the end data transfer, basically it's it can hold data during drag and drop, during paste. So yeah, it's it has some method on it to basically set the data or get it in specific formats. So if you want to know more about it, you can actually check that documentation. But yeah, for now, all we need, we're not gonna use it again, as far as I remember. That's the only instance of us actually using it. So next we will do paragraphs, and then lines dot map line, and we'll do this. So first we will create a paragraph element, document dot create, not create range, create element p, then p dot text content equal line. And to handle a special case, like if for some, like let's say for instance we are copying a text that looks like that, this would be a line, but it would be an empty line. So in this case we want to add like a line break element to the paragraph. So that's what we'll do here. Line.length equal 0, we p.append child document.create element br, and then we will return p. This will basically give us an array of HTML paragraph elements that we can just add to our editor easily. Again, let me just copy some comments here. Not what I wanted. Undo, and let's do this. Okay. Then we need to basically get the length of the text inside the last paragraph element that we have. The reason we do that is if we copy this text, for instance, and create a new document and paste it, as you can see, the text cursor always ends up at the last, basically at the end of the text that we pasted. So even if we have like text that already exists in here and we just paste our text here, you'll find that it literally like the text cursor is at the end of the text that we copied and pasted. So we need to know basically the length of the like the text inside the last paragraph, so we can basically calculate the final cursor position when we actually finish the formatting. So the way we're going to do that we're gonna create a variable, and it's not gonna be a constant in this case because in some cases we'll need to change it. So that's why we're using let, and we're gonna get the paragraphs and get the last element dot length minus 1 dot text content dot length, or if for whatever reason we can't get the length, we'll just set it to 0. Again, just some housekeeping. Not what I wanted. Okay, the first case we'll handle here would be what happens when we actually paste text inside an empty editor, which we were handling that case in the old code, but it wasn't done properly. In this case, all we need to do is we just basically add all of the paragraph elements we have to our editor, and then we just do the formatting for each of these paragraphs. So what we're gonna do is if editor ref dot current dot child nodes dot length equal 0, then paragraphs dot for each node, and then we'll do editor ref dot current dot append child node. This just adds each of the paragraphs to the editors, and we'll then format each of them. So for each node, if node dot first child, which means that it has some like and node dot first child dot node type equal 3, just to make sure that it's text node. So we'll do text area utilities dot format in this case, which needs a couple of things. It needs the range object, needs the first child, and I think we need to cast it as a text node, but let's see pattern, and then highlight class name if it's provided, and yeah, we need to cast this as text node. Then we need to basically, now that we've done the formatting, we need to set the cursor position. So here's what we're going to do. first need to get the last paragraph from here. So we do paragraphs dot length -1. If not last paragraph, we'll return, which just basically to make sure the TypeScript is happy, doesn't yell at us. So reposition cursor after user input format, which takes an inode and offset object, which means that needs a node, which is going to be last paragraph, and the offset is going to be 0, and it needs the offset number that we actually want to basically the number of like characters that we basically want to set our text to inside that node that we provided. So in this case we'll just use the last paragraph and length, and this should be it for handling pasting on an empty editor. I think everything should be working, so let's save. These are still not used, which is fine. It's gonna yell at us for a little bit, but yeah, that's alright. Let's save and actually test if it's working or not. And yeah, here we go. We're getting the building step, which might fail. Yep, as I expected. Sometimes fails just for whatever reason. So in this case we'll just run it again, and hopefully this time it should pass. Yep, here we go. So let's go here and let's copy this and paste it. Okay, we seem to have a problem still, though to be honest I think this may be what is happening. Am I missing something? Yeah, yeah, I am missing something. I haven't actually added this as an event listener to the the editor itself. So let's add this here. Let's go to TweetTextarea. Come on. And we will do const paste listener equal event react.clipboard event html div element, and it will do the following. If not editor ref or not pattern, then we'll return, because we won't be able to actually run the event listener. So let's listeners paste, and we need event we need editor ref, we need pattern, and we need highlight class name if we have it. And now we can save again, and let's see. Oh no, wait. Again, we have to add this here. Build again. Okay. Now I'm assuming it would work. So let's see. Yep, here we go. And as you can see, we have this formatted, this formatted. We have an empty paragraph here, and the cursor, basically the text cursor, ended up in the correct position, or like where it should be. If we now look inside the editor, we'll find that we actually have 3 paragraphs, as we should do. This one has the text and the span, this one has the BR, like line break element, and again, this one has like a text and span. So this was the slightly easier thing that we needed to implement, which is just pasting text on an empty editor, basically, because we're just adding all of the paragraphs that we have. But if we're pasting text inside and like a paragraph that already exists and has some text in it, then we need to do things in a slightly different way. We'll basically need to figure out exactly where exactly are we inside the paragraph. Then if we're in the middle, like basically delete anything after the cursor, add the paragraph, add the paragraphs that we're pasting, then add the text that we deleted from the original paragraph to the last paragraph, and then add the text from the first paragraph that we want to paste to the original paragraph. Like, it's a bit of a hard thing to explain. So let's just do it, basically. So the first thing we need to do here is to actually find basically find our bearings inside the editor. We need to find the paragraphs. Like, if for instance the user has some text selected, we need to basically know in which paragraph does the selection starts and in which paragraph does it end. So what we'll do here is we'll say const start paragraph equals, this is where we'll actually use the get parent paragraph function that we've created. So we'll do start container, and then we'll do something similar here, end container, and then just to make sure that again everything is working properly, so we'll say if not start paragraph, we'll just say return, and just copying some comments here just that we need. So what we'll do next is this. We need to find basically where the start paragraph exists in the editor. Is it the first paragraph, second, third? Basically, because like the user might be pasting text inside the third or fourth paragraph, so we just need to find exactly where it is. So we'll do let paragraph offset in editor equal, again we'll use one of the functions that we already have, find node in parent, and in this case the parent is editor.ref.current, which is just our editor, and the node we're trying to find is the start paragraph. So again, next we'll do basically something similar to what we did when pasting text on an empty editor, which just add the paragraph elements to the where is it? Where did we do that? Yeah, here basically when we just appended the child nodes into the editor. However, the way we're gonna do it is going to be a bit different, because now we need to make sure that we're adding them in the correct position. We're also not gonna add all the paragraphs. We're gonna skip the first paragraph, because when the user pastes something inside the editor with text already there, then they would be already in a paragraph. So the text from the first paragraph that needs to be pasted should go into the current paragraph where the user basically is at. So we don't need to add that as a paragraph element. We just need to add the subsequent paragraphs, and then we will sort out what happens basically with the first paragraph that needs to be pasted. So what we'll do is we will paragraphs dot slice. So this basically just skips the first paragraph, and then for each node, and then we'll do the following. If not editor ref or paragraph offset in editor equal undefined, then we return. Otherwise we increment the offset, because we need to, like, the offset gets us where the paragraph is at, like the current paragraph is at, but then we want to start adding paragraphs after that one, so we increment it. Then we do set the cursor position to current and paragraph offset in editor. Then we do range dot insert node, and we insert the node that we have. This basically will just add everything to the editor after basically add all the paragraphs. So like it will add, in this case it will add the empty paragraph and this paragraph, but it will skip this one. We'll handle this one later. So let's actually test this one to make sure that it works. It's not going to do any formatting yet, of course. But yeah, let's test it. And as usual, it doesn't work and we have to run it again. Okay, here we go. Let's type something. Hello from Abdurrahman. Let's say we want to paste the text here. So let's just make sure that we have this copied and let's paste it. As you can see, it added the empty paragraph and this third paragraph, but it didn't, like, technically what it should do, it should actually it should have moved this word to here, and it should have added the first paragraph here, which let's actually simulate that here. So if we have hello Rahman, we go back and we do paste. As you can see, it added this paragraph here. It moved that word to the last paragraph and it added the empty paragraph. So what we're doing at the moment is adding the empty paragraph, that's fine. Adding the last paragraph, like basically adding all the paragraphs starting from the second one to the last. But we still need to sort out this bit and this bit. So that's what we are going to be doing next. So again, just some simple housekeeping. So next we need to check whether the user is actually selecting text across multiple paragraphs, or if the user is selecting text within just one paragraph, or not selecting text at all. We'll have two cases. The first one basically would be if the user has text across multiple paragraphs selected, we'll do things in a specific way, but if the user is not selecting text at all or selecting text within the same paragraph, then we'll do things in a different way. So we'll handle the first case first, which is the if the user has multiple paragraphs selected. So the first thing we need to do is, in this case, let me show you exactly what will happen. So let's say we have hello from Abdurrahman, and then this is my React component. Let's say the user basically does that. They select from here to here, and then they copy this text and paste. As you can see, like if we undo that, let's just copy this, paste it here, so we can have basically two versions, one before pasting and one after pasting. If we paste, as you can see, what happened is the text from the end paragraph that the user had selected, the remaining text after of course deleting any existing text, this text was copied and moved to the last paragraph of the paragraphs that are about to be added to the editor. So now the last paragraph has some extra text to it, like the original last paragraph looked like that, but it now has this. So that's what we basically need to do. We need to make sure that we add any text from the end paragraph that the user has selected to the last paragraph of the paragraphs that are about to be added. We have to do that before actually before we add them. And the reason for that is if the user is only pasting one paragraph, we're not going to actually add the element itself to it. What we're going to do later is we're going to just copy its text and add it to the text of the first paragraph here. As I said, it's a bit confusing to explain, but yeah, this is what we need to do. We need to do it in, like, we need to first copy any text from the end paragraph to the last paragraph of the ones to be added, and then we can add those paragraphs to the editor, like the to the editor. Not sure what I'm trying to explain, but yeah. So what we'll do is, again, just to make sure that the end paragraph exists, and we also need to make sure that, again, this is mainly to just chop the arrows from TypeScript. We need to make sure that it's not, the text content is not undefined and it is not null, just in case. Then we'll do return. Then paragraphs, dot length -1 dot text content plus equals end paragraph dot text content. And then once we add the remaining text from that end paragraph, we just need to remove it because now it will be just a duplicate. So remove child, not end paragraph. And let's save that and see how it works. Actually, we still haven't done anything. Wait a second, I am trying to... I think I'm doing some unnecessary stuff here. That doesn't make... Okay, that's fine. Basically what I'm trying to do, like what I'm trying to figure out is, should I move this part of the code to the end after we do all the checking, or should we do it before? Okay, let's quickly build that test. I'm not sure if it definitely works. Like I know it works. I'm just trying to see if there's maybe a different way of making it work. Let's copy this. Okay. That doesn't seem to be working. Why is that not working? Yeah, that's why this should be not. So this is basically if it's different paragraphs, so this would mean that the start paragraph is not the same as the end paragraph. That was a mistake. Of course it doesn't work. I'm trying to figure out now. Let me just take a look at this. Yeah, it won't matter anyway. Yeah, no, it will matter because what I'm thinking about is what happens if it's just the paragraphs are just like one paragraph, but we're already removing it anyway. So yeah, where the order really doesn't matter that much. So yeah, let's do this again. This is Rahman. This is my React component. Bam. And let's make sure we have this copied, and when we paste it, as you can see now, we have the new line with the empty paragraph, and we have React component added to the end paragraph or to the last paragraph. And yeah, everything is working properly. Still need to do the formatting, of course, and do basically add the first paragraph, but that's fine, we haven't implemented that yet, so we should be okay. Good. So next, the next thing we need to do is just address like some specific case. One second. Actually, I think we'll leave that special case for later, because I don't really think we need to do it here. Yeah, I don't think we need to do most of this stuff in here. Okay. Yeah, that's actually... We'll get back to those other things later. Yeah, so we've now handled the case of what happens Yeah, we've handled the case of what happens if it's two different paragraphs. And then we'll handle the other case if we're pasting inside like same paragraph. What we need to do is I have a feeling that this should be actually moved here. No, wait. Yeah, no, should be fine, should be fine. We don't need to move it. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. So what we'll do is we're gonna select basically up to the end of that paragraph. If we're basically pasting inside just a single paragraph, we will do range dot set start container start offset, and then range dot set end basically up to the end of the start paragraph. So start paragraph dot child nodes dot length. Then we will convert that into text to string, and then remove all of that. And then what we need to do now is this. We'll go to paragraphs dot length -1 plus or equals, dot text content plus or equals text. So it's just, yeah, basically we're adding that text to the end. So this way we're sort of splitting the paragraph into two parts and pasting the text that we need to paste in between. So let me just again do some housekeeping and copy these comments that we're going to just paste here, and do the same here. And we should be fine now. What we need to do next is actually handle what happens with the first paragraph. That, like, basically, as you know, like now when we paste something here, like if we do this is, and this is React component. If I copy this and we paste here, as you can see, this paragraph is still not being added, so we need to handle that now. So that's what we're going to do, and the way we're going to do it is again to just appease TypeScript to make sure that doesn't yell at us. We'll do if start paragraph dot text content equal undefined, or start paragraph dot text content equal null. We'll return, and then what we'll do then is just start paragraph dot text content was equal paragraph the first paragraph dot text content, and we need to check afterwards to make sure that the paragraph is not actually empty. So text content equals 0. We need to just start paragraph dot append child document dot create element br, and as far as I can tell, this should work properly. Probably will fail to build as usual. Oh no, seems to be working. Okay, great. So let's try this. Let's first do this is hello is my React component, and let's go here, copy this, paste it. Nice. So we've added this properly, which is the first paragraph here, or first line, added the empty paragraph, and then added this and basically appended any text to it at the end. I want to test something as well. I want to know what happens if the last paragraph is empty, as in this, like the last paragraph we're trying to paste is empty. Like in this case, what would happen? Because it should add like a... Yeah, that's what I expected. Okay. Yeah, no, that's not what we want. Okay, that's fine. We need to handle this case. Okay. Let's see. Let me think about how we should do this one. basically, maybe what we can do. Okay, let's just handle it here. Start paragraph. We will make sure to remove let's just actually yeah, let's get this one here. Yeah, let's just do const last paragraph equal paragraphs dot length minus 1 paragraph, and then if last paragraph dot text content dot length equals 0, then while last paragraph dot first child last paragraph dot remove child last paragraph dot first child. This just to make sure that we don't have any line break elements, and then we will last paragraph dot text content, and I think we should basically just copy that. No, actually copy this, do the same here, and then not this, last paragraph. Let's see if this fixes. The problem. Let's copy this one. Let's go here. Hello from this is my React component, and it's still doing that. I'm not sure why. Why? Okay, I think I know why. It's treating it as if I am Yep, that seems to work. I would like to see something. I just need to consult log paragraphs. Let's build it again and see what is happening. And it doesn't build as usual.